The river is brown with mud. The forest is almost impossibly dense. Giant palms rise above the water. Roots disappear into black channels. The air is hot enough that everything seems to breathe. And beneath the surface, something moves. Not a crocodile, not a dinosaur, a snake. But not a snake you would recognize. It is roughly 13 meters long.
About the length of a school bus. It weighs around 1,100 kilograms. More than 1,000 kilograms of muscle, bone, and scales. Moving through a tropical river that existed almost 60 million years ago. This is Titanoboa. And when this animal lived, the dinosaurs were already gone. For roughly 60 million years, no tyrannosaur had walked these forests. No triceratops, no diplodocus. The world had moved on. And in the vacuum they left behind, something completely different became enormous. The strangest part isn't that the biggest snake in Earth's history exists, it's where it lived. Because the place beneath us today is not a rainforest. It is a coal mine in northern Colombia. And buried beneath those rocks is an entire lost ecosystem. Travel back 58 to 60 million years. The asteroid has already changed the planet. The great non-avian dinosaurs are gone. The world is in the Paleocene, one of the earliest chapters of the Age of Mammals. But this is not yet the world of grasslands and ice ages. There are no humans, no elephants, no lions, no modern Amazon rainforest exactly as we know it. Instead, northern Colombia is wrapped in a hot, wet tropical forest. Rivers wind through enormous floodplains. Swamps spread between channels. Plants crowd almost every available surface. And the temperature is extraordinary. The original research on Titanoboa suggested that the tropical environment where it lived had mean annual temperatures around 30 to 34 degrees Celsius, although the exact relationship between Titanoboa's size and ancient temperature remains debated by scientists. This matters because Titanoboa was not simply a large snake, it was a cold-blooded reptile. Its body temperature depended heavily on the environment around it. A snake this enormous requires an environment capable of supporting that size. And that means Titanoboa is telling us something about the planet itself. Its body is a thermometer made of bone.
Look around. There is no familiar South American jungle here. The ecosystem preserved at Cerrejón is one of the oldest known megafossil tropical rainforest ecosystems in the neotropics, and it is astonishingly productive. Trees and palms crowd the waterways. Ferns spread beneath them. Leaves fall constantly into the water. The rivers carry nutrients through the forest. Everywhere there is movement. Fish beneath the surface, turtles along the banks, crocodilian relatives wading in shallow water, small mammals moving through the vegetation, and above all of it, the canopy. This forest is not simply a backdrop for Titanoboa. It is the machine that makes Titanoboa possible, because a giant predator requires a giant food supply, and this ecosystem has one. The fossils from Cerrejón reveal a remarkably diverse freshwater community, including large fish and several kinds of crocodilian relatives. But somewhere inside this complicated food web is an animal that changes the scale of everything.
Titanoboa was not simply a giant version of today's snakes. Its size pushes the limits of what a snake can be. The original scientific estimate put it at approximately 13 meters long and about 1,135 kilograms. That's enormous. But there is an important detail. We don't have a complete Titanoboa skeleton. Much of what we know about its size comes from vertebrae, and those vertebrae are extraordinary. Researchers compared the bones with those of living snakes and used their proportions to reconstruct the animal's length. The result was a creature roughly 42 feet long, with estimates in the original research reaching roughly 49 feet for the largest individuals. Imagine that body moving through water. There are no legs, no claws, no external armor, just one enormous muscular animal, a snake that has turned its entire body into a weapon of movement. And yet, this is where the story takes an unexpected turn. Because the first question we want to ask is, what did something this large actually eat?
For years, the obvious answer seemed to be crocodiles. It made sense. Titanoboa lived in water. Crocodilian relatives lived in the same rivers. And modern boas and anacondas are capable of taking surprisingly large prey. So it was easy to imagine Titanoboa as the ultimate ambush predator, a gigantic snake waiting beneath the surface for a crocodile to come close. But then scientists found something much more important, a skull. And the skull changed the story. The shape of Titanoboa's teeth and palate suggests that it was adapted for eating fish, not necessarily the giant land predator people imagined. A specialist capable of taking aquatic prey. That distinction matters, because Titanoboa may not have ruled this ecosystem by attacking everything that moved. It may have ruled it by exploiting something that was everywhere: fish. And the rivers of Cerrejón were full of them. Some were large, some were heavily built, and some belonged to lineages that have no exact modern equivalent. Titanoboa had entered an environment where an enormous aquatic food supply could support an enormous aquatic predator. The giant snake did not need to chase its prey across land. It only needed to wait. This is the secret to understanding Titanoboa. Water changes everything. A snake that large would have been extraordinarily difficult to move quickly across land. But in water, its enormous body becomes an advantage. Buoyancy supports its weight. The snake can move by sending waves of muscular contraction along its body. And its body becomes almost invisible among roots, shadows, and muddy water. Imagine swimming through this forest 60 million years ago. You see a turtle, a fish, a fallen branch. Then you realize the branch is moving. Titanoboa doesn't need to look terrifying. It only needs to remain unnoticed. And that is something snakes are exceptionally good. We should be careful about turning this into a perfect movie monster, though. The fossil evidence cannot tell us exactly how every hunt happened. Some reconstructions have imagined Titanoboa behaving like a giant anaconda, but the skull evidence points strongly toward a fish-focused feeding strategy. The truth is probably stranger than the popular image. The largest snake ever discovered may have spent much of its life hunting prey smaller than itself.
Now we reach the biggest mystery. Why? Why would evolution produce a snake this enormous? There is no single answer, but the environment gives us clues. Titanoboa lived close to the equator, in a world significantly warmer than today's tropical forests. And for an ectothermic animal, temperature matters enormously. Warm conditions allow reptiles to maintain higher body temperatures without producing all that heat internally. The original Titanoboa research proposed that its extreme size was consistent with a very warm Paleocene tropics. But that interpretation has been challenged. Other researchers have pointed out that body size itself affects how an animal gains and loses heat, meaning temperature cannot simply be calculated from size alone. So Titanoboa does not give us a simple equation.
Hot planet equals giant snake. Instead, it gives us a clue. A warm climate, a productive rainforest, huge aquatic food resources,